Next point is 7.5 thermal expansion. See, when matter is heated, it normally expands, and when cooled, it normally contracts. The atoms in a solid vibrate about their mean positions. When heated, they vibrate faster and force each other to move a little further apart. This results into expansion. The molecules in a liquid or a gas move with a certain speed. When heated, they move faster and force each other to move a little further apart. This results in expansion of liquids and gases on heating. The expansion is more in liquids than in solids. Gases expands even more. Therefore, a change in the temperature of a body causes change in its dimensions. The increase in the dimensions of a body due to an increase in its temperature is called as a thermal expansion. Now, there are three types of the thermal expansion. One is linear expansion, second one is the areal expansion, and third one is the volume expansion. Within three types of thermal expansion means linear expansion, areal expansion and volume expansion. Firstly, we will discuss on the linear expansion. Linear expansion means the expansion in a length due to thermal energy, which is nothing but the linear expansion. See in the figure what we observe. If the substance is in the form of a long rod of length L, then for small change delta T in temperature, the fractional change delta L by L in length, which is directly proportional to delta T. Therefore, we can write delta L by L is directly proportional to delta T, or delta L by L, which equals to alpha into delta T, where that alpha is called the coefficient of linear expansion of a solid. Its value depends upon the nature of the material. Now, rearranging this equation, delta L by L equals to alpha into delta T, we get alpha is equal to delta L by L into delta T is equals to LT minus L0 upon L0 into T minus T0, where L0 is the length of rod at 0 degree centigrade, LT is the length of rod when heated to T degree centigrade, T0 is the 0 degree centigrade, which is its initial temperature, T is the final temperature, and delta L is the LT minus L0, means change in length. Then delta T is the T minus T0, which is rise in temperature. Referring to equation, alpha is equal to LT minus L0 upon L0 into T minus T0 if L0 is equal to 1 and T minus T0 is equal to 1 degree centigrade, then alpha that becomes LT minus L0, which is numerically 1. Therefore, the coefficient of linear expansion of a solid is thus defined as the increase in the length per unit original length at 0 degree centigrade for 1 degree centigrade rise in temperature. Then see, the unit of coefficient of linear expansion is per degree Celsius or per Kelvin. Then the magnitude of alpha, which is very small, and it varies only a little with the temperature. For most practical purposes, alpha can be assumed to be constant for a particular material. Therefore, it is not necessary that initial temperature be taken as a 0 degree centigrade. Therefore, equation alpha is equal to LT minus L0 upon L0 into T minus T0 can be rewritten as alpha is equal to L2 minus L1 upon L1 into T2 minus T1, where L1 is nothing but the initial length at temperature T1 degree centigrade and L2 is nothing but the final length at temperature T2 degree centigrade. Now, there is a table which lists average values of coefficient of linear expansion for some materials in the temperature range 0 degree centigrade to 100 degree centigrade. See the values of coefficient of linear expansion for some common materials. There are materials and the value of alpha means the coefficient of linear expansion. First, carbon. The value of alpha is 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 5. Then see the glass 0.85 into 10 raised to minus 5. For iron, it's 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 5. For steel material, it's a 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 5. For gold, it is 1.4 into 10 raised to minus 5. For copper, it is a 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 5. For silver, it's a 1.9 into 10 raised to minus 5. For aluminium, it's 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 5. For sulfur, it's a 6.1 into 10 raised to minus 5. For mercury, it's a 6.1 into 10 raised to minus 5. For water, it's a 6.9 into 10 raised to minus 5. And for graphite or for carbon, it's also 8.8 into 10 raised to minus 5. Now see the second type of thermal expansion, that is aerial expansion. The increase in delta A in the surface area on heating is called aerial expansion or superficial expansion. This is the figure for aerial expansion delta A, which is exaggerated for explanation. Exaggerate means to overstate or to describe more than is a fact. Now, from figure, we observe that if a substance is in the form of a plate of area A, then for small change delta T in a temperature, the fractional change in area delta A by A is directly proportional to delta T. Therefore, delta A by A is directly proportional to delta T, or delta A by A equals to beta into delta T, where beta is called the coefficient of aerial expansion of a solid. It depends on the material of the solid. Now, rearranging that equation, delta A by A equals to beta into delta T, we get beta equals to delta A upon A into delta T equals to AT minus A0 upon A0 into T minus T0, where A0 is the area of plate at 0 degree centigrade. AT is the area of plate when heated to T degree centigrade. T0 is 0 degree centigrade, which is its initial temperature, and T is the final temperature. Then see delta A, which is equals to AT minus A0 means change in area. Then delta T is the T minus T0, which is a rise in its temperature. If A0 equals to 1 meter square and T minus T0 equals to 1 degree centigrade, then beta equals to AT minus A0, which gets numerically. Therefore, coefficient of aerial expansion of a solid is defined as the increase in defined as the increase in the area per unit original area at 0 degree centigrade for 1 degree rise in temperature. The unit of beta is per degree Celsius or per Kelvin. As in the case of alpha, beta also does not vary with the temperature. Hence, if A1 is the area of a metal plate at T1 degree centigrade and A2 is the area at a higher temperature T2 degree centigrade, then beta is equal to A2 minus A1 upon A1 into T2 minus T1.